All right, let's go.
Should I start? Should I start? Hello, namaste, and hello to everyone who is joining us as this pioneering event, having inclusion of 186 plus universities and colleges and having 1,000 plus registration hosted by Luvyum. I am Dr. Ashit Pandya, Principal, AV Parak Technical Institute, Rajkot, Gujarat. Extend my warm welcome to all of you at this juncture. Luvyum is an organization with a group of talented young change makers looking to make a difference in the world, combating climate changes through reducing food wastage. It's a global organization having association with government and non-government organizations contributing towards the sustainable development in line with the Paris Agreement, Kyoto Protocol, and COP26 Summit. We will now watch the video created by Luvyum to highlight the activities of the organization. Video, please. Okay, thank you. Our first speaker is Mahek Vara, who is the founder of Luvyum. She will introduce about the organizational activities of Luvyum. If I briefly introduce her, then Mahek has graduated in natural science from Durham University and going to pursue her MBA from Stanford Graduate School of Business. She has always strived to create a better place, which led her found a multi-award winning charity, CodeCamp, which taught over 80,000 children in Gujarat how to code. This is the first instance in the history of India. She has also been featured on World News channels such as BBC World News and all. Please, Mahek.
Thank you so much. for that, Dr. Pandya. Namaste, everybody. Kem cha bada. And thank you so much for joining us on the launch summit for Luvyum's Love Food Stop Waste movement. A very warm welcome to our wonderful speakers joining us. And I know there are thousands of you joining from the other side, and I wish I could see you from here, but I can't. But I also know that we're still all together virtually, which is just fantastic. My team and I are so incredibly happy from your very warm response, and I'm sure everybody here is too, that you all have so enthusiastically joined in with the movement. So food waste, something that Luvyum has been working on since we were incepted last year, is one of the world's most tragic problems. When we waste food, we're not only wasting the food, but we're also wasting all the resources that went into making it, including our fresh water supply and farmland. Throwing away food also comes with a very heavy carbon footprint. Disposed food releases methane, which has 21 times greater global warming potential than carbon dioxide. Our global food system currently is responsible for up to 1/3, that's 1 in 3 of all human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. જે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ કાર્બન એમિશન્સ આપણી દુનિયામાં કરે છે એ તો આપણે વિડીયોમાં પણ જોયું. હમણાં કોરોના વાયરસમાં ઓક્સિજનની બહુ જ કમી થઈ હતી, ત્યારે આપણે દરરોજ ફ્રીમાં લઈએ છે, પરંતુ આપણને ત્યારે વેલ્યુ નથી થઈ. So we're the youth of today. આપણે બધા next generation છે, આપણી દુનિયા છે અને આપણી જવાબદારી. This is our world and our responsibility. We have to stand together for our planet, save our earth, so that in the future, our generation and future generations can live in this beautiful world. આપણા સંસ્કારમાં લખેલું છે કે આપણે ખાવાનું ના ફેંકીએ. તમારે બધા ઘરે પણ એવું જ હશે કે તમે ખાવાનું ના ફેંકો, તોય આટલી બધી વાર આટલું બધું ખાવાનું ફેંકાય છે. બધા ધર્મમાં કીધેલું છે કે આપણે ખાવાને કે ફૂડને આદર કરો. હિન્દુ ધર્મમાં કીધેલું છે કે અન્નને બ્રહ્મની જેમ માની જવાય. So pray and be truly grateful for the food you receive. Food is the divine blessing of God, which nourishes and sustains us. To reduce food waste for our planet, Luvyum, with you, will be spreading the message to say how we can help reduce food waste, starting in all of your homes, in all of your kitchens, to help support the next generation of change makers, and that's you, to make huge differences in the world and create a more sustainable planet. For this, we'll be launching our Changemaker program to help provide career guidelines for those interested in sustainability and present a platform for innovators with projects in entrepreneurship to support them through with network and funding. We'll also be rolling out our Global Ambassador program here in Gujarat as well for 2 to 3 representatives from each university. We currently have over 35 across the world, so you'd be joining an international coalition of youth to reduce food waste and combat climate change. This means for our future events and activities, you'd have the opportunity to be involved firsthand in the amazing things we have planned. For those of you who are inspired to make a difference, please register through our website or stay tuned on social media channels, as I know a lot of you have, at Luvyum_global for all future updates. Let's make our country, our world, and our Gujarat waste-free. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahek, for your enlightening speech. The gist of the talk is "Itna hi lo thali mein, vyarth na jaye nali mein." The next topic is youth and sustainability around the world. The youth have been pivotal in this particular moment. So जैसे कहते हैं ना कि बहादुर कहाँ किसी का मान लिया करते हैं, वो तो कर गुजरते हैं जो वो ठान लिया करते हैं. So our next speaker is Millie Hodkinson, who is a global partnership manager at One Young World. She works with the organizations around the world on their HR, CSR and sustainability strategies, developing programs around the One Young World Summit to allow young leaders' voice to be heard on a global platform. Please, Millie Hodkinson.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pandya, and thank you so much, Mahek, for that great introduction, and what a powerful video to start with as well. So hi, my name is Millie and I'm in London at the moment in the United Kingdom. So I work as a partnerships manager for One Young World, the Global Forum for Young Leaders. It's so great to see such fantastic turnout for the Love Food Stop Waste Summit launch. And thank you to Mahek for organising everything, for putting everything together with the team, and for the opportunity to speak today. So just a little bit about kind of how I came to be at One Young World. I've been with the company for 2.5 years now. One Young World is a registered charity, the Global Forum for Young Leaders, and we work to identify, connect, and promote young change makers all over the world that are delivering positive change in their communities and their workplaces. And one of the ways that we do this is through our flagship event, which is the One Young World Summit, where over 2,000 delegates attend from every country and every sector, alongside over 250 organizations, ensuring a truly global platform to debate and devise solutions to the world's most pressing issues. So why are we all here today? We are facing an imminent food and climate crisis, and we all have to act now. And still, you know, as the video said, still a third of the food around the world is being wasted. We have a serious problem with our food systems, which in turn allows billions of dollars to be wasted, not to even start on the environmental and the social consequences. In fact, if food waste was a country, it would be the third biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. You know, so often young leaders are viewed as an entirely separate group with their own issues, and they're not brought to the table for key decision making. That when we take into account that half of the world's population is actually aged under 30 years old, we have to bring young people into these negotiations and look at them for solutions to health, food, climate, etc., as we are going to be disproportionately impacted by these global threats. When we look at food waste, when we look at other issues, especially food waste in particular, it might seem like something that's completely out of our control, but it is not. Like, we do have fantastic organizations such as Luvyum that help raise awareness, give advice, and give global action within food sustainability. And it doesn't have to be a huge step right now. However small you want to start, you can make a difference. So just by being here today, you're showing up and forming part of that network to raise awareness around food sustainability and waste. So some examples of the young leaders that are making a difference, aside from Mahek and the team with Luvyum in this field, are ambassadors in the One Young World community. The One Young World community now has nearly 14,000 members globally, representing 196 countries. One Young World works with these ambassadors to provide various opportunities and resources such as mentorship, scholarships, events, and media exposure as well. So just a few examples of what our ambassadors do get up to in this field. Around the globe, we have initiatives ranging from Anisa Godha's soil analysis solution in India called SNAP. We have a social enterprise called Tailored Food, run by Taylor Quinn, who's dedicated to building holistic food systems in the Congo and Liberia, to alleviating poverty for rice farmers in Thailand with our ambassadors Pontiras initiative Siam Organic, allowing farmers to earn up to 14 times more than their previous earnings with innovative rice products. These are all simple ways to build around kind of the current process right now, make it more efficient, more streamlined, and really work with what we've got at the moment. And these are just 3 examples of amazing work that is being done around the world right now to combat food waste and increase food sustainability. We can all get involved, and we must all get involved to create lasting change. So please join the movement with Luvyum, be a part of this Changemaker program and the ambassador journey to more sustainable food systems. To find out more about One Young World, feel free to visit our website or drop me a message on LinkedIn under Millie Hodgkinson. And thank you all very much for listening.
Thank you, Millie, for your inspiring words. Now, the next topic of discussion is food loss around the world. And I'm going to invite Liz Godwin to deal with this topic. If I briefly introduce Liz Godwin, she's a chemist by background and started a career in chemical industries. In 2001, she joined the West and Resource Action Program and was appointed as CEO in 2007. which she held till 2016. Liz joined the World Resource Institute, WRI, in 2016 as a senior fellow and director, food loss and food waste. She is a champion of UN Sustainable Development Goal 12.3, whose aim is to halve global food wastage by 2030, and has been promoting this as a part of coalition of United Nations Food System Summit. In 2015, Liz was awarded an OBE, that is Order of British Empire, in the on the Queen's birthday honors list. And in 2017, Liz was appointed chair of the London Waste and Recycling Board by the Mayor of London. Please, Liz Godwin.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Dr. Pandya. And thank you, Mahak, for the invitation to join you today. It's a privilege to be here and talking to so many of the future leaders of the world. And I hope that, well, we're leaving the world in not a great place, but I'm hoping that you will be the leaders who happen to take it forward. So you've already heard the statistics around food waste are shocking. It's estimated we lose or waste around a third of all the food that's produced. And that amount of food costs the global economy more than $1 trillion every single year. It causes around 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions, wastes around a quarter of all the water that's used in agriculture, and it wastes a land mass area the size of China. So all of that is just wasted land that we just essentially have used to grow crops that are then disposed of and thrown away. It also has a damaging impact on soils, biodiversity, and water quality. There is frankly nothing good about it. And at the same time, we've got 1 in 10 people going to bed hungry every day. So there is something fundamentally wrong with our food system. I find it very disturbing that many governments and businesses still don't see the importance of tackling food loss and waste and the potential benefits to be gained. It's clear that the Paris Agreement targets will not be achieved if we don't tackle food loss and waste. And yet many countries still don't include food loss and waste in their nationally determined contributions. And it was really disappointing that it was not higher up the agenda. Well, food wasn't actually very much on the agenda at COP26, because without tackling food waste, we will not manage to keep the temperatures down to a 1.5 degree increase. With climate emergencies being declared by governments all around the world, food loss and waste is something we must do something about. And the interesting thing is that food loss and waste is something that we can do something about because we actually know what needs to happen. And it's something that every single person can do. We can all reduce the amount of food that we waste at home and that our families waste and that our friends waste, the people around us, the people we love and the people we care for. We can all do something about that. Equally, many of us will be leaders and we can do something about it. In the organizations we manage and run, in the inventions we come up with, the technologies we develop. So we have a huge role to play and it is something we can do about. We know what causes food waste. It's a lot of complex, tiny things that all go wrong and they combine together to make food loss and waste, but we can do something about it. So I just implore you to get involved in this campaign, do your bit, because we know that the solutions are out there. It is something we can do. It's not one of those really difficult things that need some invention that's going to solve the problem. It's really simple, practical steps. You know, plan better. If we planned better, we'd buy what we need and then we'd use what we buy instead of buying too much, not planning, and then throwing stuff away. So I implore you to get involved and let's try and sort out food waste because it's something we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, for your kind and motivational words. You might not be knowing Hindi, but there is one stanza कि पड़ जाती है आदतें उनकी जो मुश्किलों में करीब होते हैं किसी ने सच ही कहा है कि सहारे बड़े अजीब होते हैं. You have been a support system for Luvyum and we are proud to have you with us. The next topic is food loss in India. वो कहते हैं ना कि रोटी से विचित्र कुछ भी नहीं होता है, लोग पाने के लिए भी दौड़ते हैं और पचाने के लिए भी दौड़ते हैं. So then our next speaker is Monica Agarwal, who is a senior manager with the Sustainable Landscapes and Restoration Program at World Resource Institute. Here, she supports the ongoing work on food loss and waste and other research on sustainable and regenerative agriculture. Monica comes with extensive experience in the grassroots level program implementation, policy research, and advocacy in pastoralism, food security, financial inclusion, and land tenure. Monica is a graduate from Institute of Rural Management, Anand. Please, Monica Agarwal, to take over, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pandya. And thank you, Team Luvyum, for organizing this. I think we are all very delighted to be with the youth of our country today. So hello, everyone who have joined us on the other side. I'm very happy to be here to share my thoughts on this very, very important issue. I will talk about very briefly about what's happening in India. We have already heard some statistics from previous speakers about how much food globally we are wasting, the implications on the environment, the biodiversity, the soil, the water. But I'll share a little bit about what we know about food loss and waste in India. We all know that we are home to second largest population in the world, and around 43% of our land is used for cultivation. It means that we are one of the largest producer as well as consumer of food in the world. Not wrong to say we are believed to be the food basket of the world. Now, Liz and Mehek and other speakers said that a third of food that we produce never gets consumed. In India as well, significant proportions of food is lost before it reaches our plate. And as there are several estimates, and they range from 18 to 25% of the food getting lost in the entire supply chain. And in certain cases, for example, perishables, fruits, vegetables, it may go up to 45%. We also have some data on food waste at the household level. The recent UNEP report said that we are wasting 50 kg per capita annually at the household level, which amounts to a whooping 68 million tons of food not getting consumed. So it's a lot of food that we produce, but we are not consuming. Now, what are its reasons? Why does it happen in India? Where is it happening and why? So it starts at the farm level and depends on how we harvest, how are we harvesting it, storing it, transporting it, packaging and distributing and consuming food. Well, several researchers have pointed out that one of the biggest reasons for food loss between farm and plate in India is ineffective post-harvest logistics and market linkages. Now, climate crisis, several speakers before me have pointed out. I was in MP last week looking at tomato supply chain, and several farmers lost a significant produce because of excessive rains, and they're already wary of frost. So climate and sudden weather events are also affecting food losses in a big way. We already know why is it important. There are huge environment, social, and economic costs of producing food, as pointed out by previous speakers. Agriculture sector alone in India contributes around 14% of GHG emissions, and it is also the largest user of fresh water in the country. So the resources that go into production of food are immense to justify any amount of food loss and waste. Economically, so there have been, again, a few studies around it. So the Doubling Farmer Income Committee estimated that we are losing around 63,000 crores alone from fruits and vegetables. That was at 2014 process. So even economically, the magnitude of this loss is immense. Now, what's happening? a substantial amount of food is not getting monetized. That is directly impacting the income, the food and nutrition security, and overall well-being of more than 50% of population, which depends on agriculture and allied activities in India. So there are immense social, economic, and environment benefits for not taking action on food loss and waste in India. COVID pandemic showed us there were several disruptions during this time in the food supply chains, but there were also several lessons and opportunities that came up using digital platforms that helped us in shortening food supply chains. So there are so many opportunities that are already coming up. There are so many innovations in terms of agriculture technology that is happening. There are so many startups. The estimates say that India will be one of the largest receiver of agri-tech and startup funding in the post-COVID world. So there are huge opportunities. And at WRA India, what we are doing is we are trying to generate evidence so that we have better financial and policy incentives for building efficiency in our food systems. And I think I really liked what Mehak said, Apni Duniya, Apni Jawabdari. And like Liz was saying, everyone has a role in reducing food loss and waste. Can we start with our homes, with our hostels, with our canteens, with the social functions we attend, our weddings, our communities, our organizations? I think if we take a closer look at it, there is something we can do right now. And all of us can join hands in reducing food loss and waste. So I invite you all to join this movement that Luvyum is trying to build, and hope to see many more change makers to address this issue in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica ji, for your able guidance, imparting us foresight and insight. In nutshell, we can say कि मानवता के मंच पर कर दो ये ऐलान कि समय समय पर करते रहे हम सबको अन्नदान. The next topic is sad food is saved food. Our next speaker is my dear friend Hiren Kotak, who is a columnist, defense analyst and politician. He is a strong advocate for the socially and environmentally driven issues and is passionate about promoting the youth. He is one of the youth icon. I welcome Hiren Kotak, please.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much. First of all, I like to congratulate Mahek for initiating such an historical initiative. And I like. Firstly, I was confused about my language options, so I am starting it with a Hingulis. It's a mixture of three languages: Hingu, that is Hindi; Gu, that is Gujarati; and Lish, that is English. So everybody who are joining can understand everything. We have a very famous demon in Indian mythology named Bakasur. The demon named Bakasur was very famous for his tremendous diet and eating capacity. So, so many people in event we can see that people are going to buffet dinner and eat, like Bakasur, the demon, but they cannot, and they leave and waste the food. So, એ સંદર્ભમાં બકાસુરનું નામ તો જે આપણા જેટલા અત્યારે અહીંયા જોડાયેલા છે એ બધા મિત્રો જાણતા હશે. અને બકાસુરને એવું વરદાન હતું અને એવી શક્તિઓ હતી કે એ ગમે તેટલું ખાઈ શકતો હતો. પરંતુ આપણે જોયું છે કે આપણામાં એવી કોઈ શક્તિઓ નથી કે આપણે ફૂડને બકાસુરની જેમ ખાઈ શકીએ. અને કદાચ એટલે જ ઇન્ડિયામાં અને ખાસ કરીને ગુજરાતમાં સુરત શહેરમાં એક રેસ્ટોરન્ટમાં એક થાળી મળે છે, એટલે કે ઇન્ડિયન પ્લેટર મળે છે. એ પ્લેટરનું નામ પણ બકાસુર થાળી છે. અને એ બકાસુર થાળી ખાવા માટે 6 વ્યક્તિઓની જરૂર પડે છે. 6 લોકો મળીને એક થાળી ખાઈ શકે. ક્યારેક આપણે જોઈએ છે કે બુફેટ ડિનર ક્યાંય પણ આયોજન થયું હોય તો લોકો થાળી એવી રીતે ભરે છે જાણે બકાસુરને જમવાનું હોય. આ જે શેરિંગનો આઈડિયા મહેકને આવેલો છે, એ જે રીતે આવેલો છે એ આઈડિયા એટલો બધો હિસ્ટોરિકલ મેં એટલા માટે કીધું છે કેમ કે મહેકે એક નવા યુગની શરૂઆત કરી છે. આ ખાસ નોંધ કરવી પડશે, કેમ કે આપણે જોયું છે કે આપણી પાસે કોમ્યુનિટી ફ્રીજ, કોમ્યુનિટી વોલ એ ઇન્ડિયામાં અને ગ્લોબલી બધા દેશોમાં છે. કોમ્યુનિટી ફ્રીજ અને કોમ્યુનિટી વોલ દ્વારા લોકો જેને જે વસ્તુઓ નથી જોઈતી એ બીજા લોકોને પહોંચાડી શકે છે, પરંતુ એની એક લિમિટેશન છે, એ દરેક જગ્યાએ નથી પહોંચી શકાતું. એના કારણે હવે જે નવા યુગમાં આપણે ડિજિટલ એરામાં પ્રવેશ કર્યો છે, ત્યારે મહેકે જે શરૂઆત કરી છે એ ખરેખર ખૂબ જ સરાહનીય એટલા માટે છે કે એના કારણે હવે એ દુનિયાભરમાં આ ફેલાઈ શકશે. ફૂડ માત્ર ઇવેન્ટોમાં જ વેસ્ટ થાય છે એવું નથી. ફૂડ છે એ વર્લ્ડમાં અલગ અલગ જગ્યાએ પણ વેસ્ટ થતું હોય છે. ઘણા લોકો, ઘણા રેસ્ટોરન્ટ માલિકો, ઘણા ફૂડ ચેઇન વાળા લોકો, ફૂડ કોર્ટમાં દરેક જગ્યાએ ફૂડ વેસ્ટ થતું હોય, પરંતુ એ ફૂડ કોઈને આપતા પહેલા અથવા તો એ કોઈને પહોંચાડતા પહેલા એમને પણ એક ડર હોય છે કે મારું જે ફૂડ છે એના કારણે કોઈ લીગલ ઇસ્યુઝ ક્રિએટ થશે તો હું શું કરીશ. તો એના સોલ્યુશન સાથે લવ્યમ આવેલ છે. એ બહુ મોટી વાત છે, કેમ કે આજે સવારે જ્યારે મેં આ આઈડિયા અને જે આ ઇવેન્ટ વિશેની ડિટેલ શેર કરી, તો યુએસ થી એક લોસ એન્જલિસમાં એક મારી ફ્રેન્ડ રહે છે, એમની સાથે વાત થઈ ને એમણે એમ કીધું કે આ તો બહુ મોટો ઇસ્યુ છે અને એ ચોક્કસપણે એમાં કંઈક સાથે મળીને કામ કરવા ઈચ્છે છે. પરંતુ આ જ વાત એમણે કરી કે ઘણા બધા લોકો છે એમને એમની ફૂડને શેર કરવામાં પણ એ પ્રકારનો ડર લાગે છે. તો એ હાઇજીનને પણ ચેક કરી અને કેવી રીતે એ ફૂડને શેર કરી શકાય એ પણ કહી શકાય છે. ભારતની પરંપરામાં આ વસ્તુ હજારો લાખો વર્ષોથી છે, ભારતની સંસ્કૃતિમાં છે કે ગાય માટે 2 રોટી કાઢવી, કૂતરા માટે પણ રોટી કાઢવી, એવી જ રીતે પશુ પંખીઓ માટે પણ આહાર કાઢવો. એટલે કે આપણે જે ફૂડ આપણે યુઝ કરી છે રૂટીન લાઈફમાં, એમાંથી એક ભાગ છે એ એમના માટે અલગથી કાઢવો. એ 2 રોટી સિવાયની જે બાકીની રોટીઓ બચે છે એ ચોક્કસપણે કોકનો કોળિયો છે, કોકનો નિવાલો છે, એનો બ્રસેલ છે. એ જે મોરસેલ છે એ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ પાર્ટ છે કે કોઈનો મોરસેલ આપણે લઈ લઈએ છીએ. એટલે આપણે ચોક્કસપણે ફૂડને શેર કરવું જોઈએ. આપણે સ્કૂલમાં પણ, આપણે નાના હતા ત્યારે પણ આપણે બધાએ એક્સપિરિયન્સ કર્યો છે કે એ ફૂડ છે એને શેર કરીને ખાવું જોઈએ. તો એ જ્યારે આપણને શીખવાડવામાં આવ્યું છે એને આપણે હવે એક મોટા સ્વરૂપે લઈ જવાની જરૂર છે અને વિશ્વમાં આ પ્રચાર છે એ વધુમાં વધુ થાય એ માટે આપણે બધાએ પ્રયત્નશીલ બનવું પડશે. આજની ડિબેટના નિષ્કર્ષ સ્વરૂપે આપણે આ કામ આજથી આપણાથી શરૂ કરવું પડશે. હું શરૂ કરીશ અને આખી દુનિયા મને અનુસરશે. મહેકનો આ વિચાર એ મહેકના નામ પ્રમાણે ફ્રેગ્રન્સ, મહેકનો ધ મીનિંગ ઓફ મહેક ઇઝ ફ્રેગ્રન્સ and she is spreading that fragrance of awareness by the legacy of her parents. તો હું ખૂબ જ અભિનંદન આપું છું મહેક, અને ઈશ્વર આપની સાથે છે અને ખૂબ જ અમે લોકો પ્રાઉડ અનુભવીએ છીએ. ભારતની ધરતી ઉપર તું હોય કે ન હોય, પણ તારા વિચારો છે એ વિશ્વ કલ્યાણ માટેના હોય છે, વિશ્વ બંધુત્વની જે ભારતની ભાવના છે એ માટેના હોય છે. માટે આજે તને એક વધુ નામ પણ આપવાની ઈચ્છા છે અને એ છે માં અન્નપૂર્ણા. આપણી પાસે એક દેવી છે, વી હેવ અ ગોડેસ ઓફ ફૂડ and the name is માં અન્નપૂર્ણા. So I am naming Mahek માં અન્નપૂર્ણા. જય હિન્દ, જય ભારત.
Thank you, Hiranbhai. Now the next topic of discussion is entrepreneurship and sustainability. We have got our eminent speaker with us, John Stapleton, who has co-founded multiple startups and a very successful entrepreneur, and now investor and mentor for new startups. New Covent Garden Soup Company, a pioneer company in food industry, which he had revenues of 200 crores in 1998, and it was then sold. He has also co-founded the Grown Little Dish, the another food startup, to the tune of INR 150 crore. So let us invite John Stapleton to have deliberation on this topic. Please.
Hi there, my name is John Stapleton and I've been in the food industry all my life. I've set up businesses and sold businesses, and I help other people's businesses, either as an investor or as an advisor or as a mentor. I'm based in Germany and I've got lots of business interests in the UK, so I'm back and forth to the UK quite a bit. Something else that's been in the UK quite a bit recently is COP26, the UN Climate Change Conference. Some say it's been constructive and others say it didn't really achieve anything. I'll let you be the judge of that. But what certainly is the case is that we have a problem. We have a sustainability problem. And we have a real sustainability problem in the food industry. Now, some people believe that the problem is so big and so systematic, there's nothing really can be done about it. And some think that big food or the big multinational corporates in the food industry are the ones who need to act or need to be made to act. Now, while I think there's some benefit in doing just that, that is not all of the answer. We need to start from the grassroots. We need to mobilize the entrepreneurial community to create startups to help turn back the wave of climate change destruction. Now, this can be really difficult to do. Setting up your own company is a difficult thing to do. I should know, I did it 3 times. It's a very lonely place to be, especially if you're doing it on your own. It's a commonly held belief that today, because of COVID and because of lockdown, it's even more difficult than ever to set up your own business. It's not. As an entrepreneur, we thrive on chaos. The more uncertainty and the more disruption, the better for the entrepreneur. The status quo really benefits the establishment. It benefits the big guy. So I think there's a great role for entrepreneurship to play in bringing purpose-driven businesses to the attention of consumers today. I believe there's no better time to lead with the message of, for example, health and sustainability and waste reduction than there is today. I always search out for new businesses in the food and drink space who have a purpose-driven message, in addition to having a product which consumers will buy, and in addition to being profitable, or having the potential to be profitable. Now, profit is not a dirty word, by the way. In fact, I think without profit, businesses cannot survive or can't grow, and ultimately they can't bring their product and their purpose to an ever wider group of consumers. So I've got 2 small examples of this. I invested in a company called Insane Grain during lockdown last year. Now, Insane Grain is a healthy bagged snack product. It's healthy because it's baked and it's not fried like a lot of other bag salads, bad snacks are. And it's also what's called HFSS, which is very topical in the UK. HFSS means high in fat, salt and sugar. So Insane Grain is not high in fat, salt and sugar. And this is really important because in the UK, legislation is coming into force soon, which bans the promotion of these types of products and these types of foods. And it's also high in naturally occurring vitamins and minerals. And the Insane Grain snack is made from sorghum grain, which is indigenous to certain disadvantaged parts of Africa, for example. And the UN will declare in 2023 the year of sorghum in an effort to support local production of sorghum and reinvigorate local communities. Therefore, Insane Grain has a number of purposes to be part of its justification. Now, that's a major attraction for someone like me as an investor. A second example I want to use is to do with vertical farming. And I got involved with this also just last year. I'm a chairman of a business called Fisher Farms, and it's a vertical farming business. And vertical farming belongs to the food tech category sector, if you like, and it's attracting a lot of attention, a lot of investment at the moment. Vertical farming produces a much better quality and much more consistent product than traditional farm-grown products. But it's also a fantastic sustainable project. No pesticides are necessary because it's grown indoors, right? And water use is just about 3% of that of a traditional farming project. And you can produce seasonal products all year round, 365 days a year. Now that's really, really important for a country like Britain, because they don't need to import these products during autumn and during winter months. This also helps food security for Britain, which is a real benefit in a post-Brexit world. Ultimately, we believe at Fisher Farms, we are able to produce staple food products like wheat and rice and soya in a vertical farm in regions of the world which are arid and where food availability is very scarce, And ultimately, we believe we'll be able to do that. So this really is an opportunity to effectively feed the world and reverse forced migration from food shortage regions of the world. So what I'd say in closing is, many of us as consumers have already made decisions like, not buying drinks in plastic bottles and not buying groceries in plastic bags and reduce our home food waste. But also as entrepreneurs, I think we can create businesses, and as investors, we can invest in businesses with a purpose. These brands can bring products to the market which are good for you, so they're healthy, and good for the planet, so they're sustainable, and good for business, so they're profitable. I believe this is not only one of the justifications for startups, which are purpose-driven, but if we really are to be successful in reversing the wave of climate change destruction, we need to mobilize the power of the entrepreneur in doing so. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your inspiring words. The food waste across the globe, you cannot imagine it to be zero, but with some innovative ideas, the food waste, what to do with that? Then our eminent speaker, Praveen Patel, he has some innovative ideas about producing energy out of this food waste. So, when it is inevitable, you have to think it different on a different facet. So, ख्वाब भले ही टूटे मगर हौसले फिर भी जिंदा हो. ख्वाब भले ही टूटे मगर हौसले फिर भी जिंदा हो. हौसला अपना ऐसा रखो कि मुश्किलें भी शर्मिंदा हो. So, with this innovative idea, I would like to invite our next speaker, Praveen Patel, who is LE College Morbi's alumnus, who is in the food and dairy industries for almost 2 decades. He has an excellent insight into how we can utilize food wastage into something positive, such as energy generation. So please, Praveen Patel, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Ashit. And thank you, Luvyum team. As far as concerned to food waste, we expect that there is zero food waste, but it is not possible. So I am not seeing the opportunity from food waste, but if food waste can't be zero, so if as per statistic, almost 25 to 30% food is being wasted worldwide. So what next? If food is being wasted, we should avoid that. But if wastage is there, then what is the next step? The next step is that all this food waste is going to at landfill site. And landfill site, after degradation of this food waste, it's generating methane. And methane is again damaging atmosphere. We are seeing all the global warming effect of this pollution and all aspect. So methane is adding in that. So food waste is indirectly adding the pollution issues. So now I would like to share one screen. Can I share here? I think permission is required.
Sure, you can, Mahek.
Yes. Thank you.
Able to share now.
Thank you. So my complete discussion is based on only this one screen. That this all wastage that has been explained, the food waste at the bottom. This food waste is we can use this food waste for generation of the energy in the form of methane gas and the fertilizer. That is again helping to the environment with this biofertilizer. By anaerobic digestion, we can generate the biogas. We can use as a heat source or electricity source. Or biomethane, we can convert biogas to biomethane and use as a fuel and gas grid at this domestic use. And whatever digest has been remained in this digester, we can use that as a fertilizer or soil improver. So this is the opportunity with food waste. First, we have to reduce food waste. If food waste is there, then we have to use in a positive manner, and then we have to generate energy from that, either in the form of heat or in the form of fuel or domestic gas. And the remaining of that is a fertilizer and soil amendment. If there is a one statistic is that if 100 tons of food waste is there, that can give energy or power. Like in your Europe, you require the space heating application also. The gas can be used for the space heating also. And from 100 ton food waste, you can give energy to 800 to 1,400 houses, either by terms of gas or heat. So that we have to take this opportunity to improve this pollution by degrading this food waste through the digestion system. We can install a small digester in a hotel itself, where the source is there. We can install in the hotel. The hotel can generate gas. Gas can be used for the cooking, and that fertilizer can be used for the kitchen garden of that hotel. So there is such opportunities there with this food waste. So, and this food waste generally consists of easily digestible like fat oils in foods and all that things. So that can be easily break down in the organic waste to the methane. So thank you, Luvyum team. And thank you, Dr. Pandya, for giving me this opportunity to share this concept of energy and this fertilizer production from the food waste. Thank you.
Thank you, Brahmaji, for the comprehensive and fruitful talk. Now, for the last topic, become a change maker. For that, I would like to invite Mahek Vara. तो वो जो कहते हैं ना कि खुद ही से जीतने की जिद है, मुझे खुद ही को हराना है, मैं भीड़ नहीं हूँ दुनिया की, मेरे अंदर एक जमाना है. So everyone should try and imbibe this kind of attitude, and to have more words on this topic, please, Mahek.
Hello, everybody, again. And so the last purpose of this is to say, I am a young person like you. I'm a young person like you, looking to make our world a better place. Our world a better place for us, for our children, for our grandchildren. We make it a more sustainable place that they can see the beautiful things in nature, and they can enjoy life as we and our predecessors have. And I want to say that you have it in each one of you to become a leader, to become passionate for your community, for your society. You can stand up and make a difference. And that's really what we're about. That's what our values are as an organization at Luvyum, to help make, to give a platform to the youth to stand up and make a difference. So I urge each and every one of you watching this here now, or watching this in the future, after it's on YouTube, to stand up and make a difference. If there is anything that the Luvyum team can help with, if you'd like to be involved with our upcoming Changemaker program, so if you have any projects within entrepreneurship, sustainability, etc., we will be in touch, and you can get in touch. And if you'd like to be part of our ambassador program, really stand up in your community, you can go on our website for more details, or reach out to us on any of our social channels, emails, etc. The Luvyum team will be very, very happy to help. And if there's anything that I can help you with, please feel free, of course, to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it is that you use. I'd like to open up the floor for questions before, and then afterwards round it up with thank yous as well. So I believe we have some questions that have been curated from the students that are watching in Gujarat.
Thank you, Luvyum team. Just I asking to, could you give us some more information on the next program, Luvyum, are going to organize?
Of course, thank you so much for that question. So essentially, we have two programs, as I've just said before, that we're going to be going forward with. So the first one is obviously our sort of global ambassador program. So we already have 35 ambassadors, and they're all very, very, very active in making a difference at their university, in the city that they live in the town that they live in. So you too can become a leader and inspire others in your family, for your loved ones, for all of those. And our obviously second one that we're on plans to launch is the Changemaker program, which will help students to go into sustainability careers, find jobs within the environment, the food industry, but also support projects and other entrepreneurs like myself, and help push them in this space, because things can only work if we both help each other. And that's when I want to put my hand out first in that regard. And for all other things, for those of you that registered, you'll receive emails from us for the next things that we're coming up with. And you can obviously go on our social media and see all the updates, all the updates live on everything that we're up to. And if there's anything that you'd like to be involved in, of course, just get in touch. We're a message away. Thank you. Are there any further questions before we round up then?
Hi, Luvyum. I just have one question to ask you. That food loss is clearly a major issue, right? So what can we do to help combat this situation?
That's an excellent question. So food loss, as I think we've all heard today, and I don't even need to reiterate it on why it's such a big issue. We're wasting food. People are going hungry. We're destroying our planet as we do it. And there are lots of different ways you can reduce food waste, some of which have been spoken about in the webinar. Plan your meals, how to use storage properly. And that's another initiative that we're obviously very passionate about and what we're based on. So we'll be releasing material, information, tips, tricks, everything in that regard, to help you, help everybody that it reaches to in your family circle, in your friend circle, to say, how can you reduce this problem at home? So we can start small in our homes, but if everybody takes part in it together and everybody is part of the movement, we can really make a huge difference to the problem. Now, I also open up to any of the other speakers who'd like to comment, if they have anything else to add that could be really useful for our viewers today. Okay, if not, thank you so much
Good.
for that.
Well, then we'll move forward for the vote of thanks. આભાર વિધિ ગુજરાતીમાં કહે ને કે આભાર જરા ભાર જેવું લાગે અને સાલું ક્યારેક વ્યવહાર જેવું પણ લાગે પણ વ્યવહાર ચૂકે ને એ ગુજરાતી નહીં. So for the vote of thanks, I would like to invite Gujarati angel Mahek for the vote of thanks, please.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Pandya. So first of all, a huge thank you to our wonderful speakers for their incredible insights. They've taken out their time from their busy days and busy lives and busy careers to help inspire you to become a leader, to become a change maker and make a difference. To Millie, who spoke about the importance of youth in sustainability and why we need to stand up. To Liz, who spoke about why food waste is impacting climate change so much. To Monica, who said, why is food waste an issue for India? Why is it an issue for our country, for Gujarat? And why should you care about it? And she highlighted that perfectly. To wonderful Hiren, who went through why it's been in our, in our texts, in our learnings for centuries, for thousands and thousands of years, and why we should step up now to make a difference. To John, who spoke about how you can make change through innovation and technology within the food sector, to Pravin, who very kindly spoke about what else you can do with innovation and tech within the food industry, and maybe how else you can apply it in other industries that you might be interested in. A very special thank you to Sir G.T. Pandya from the Govt of Gujarat team, who's been instrumental in helping us put this together. A special thank you to the many universities and colleges that have joined us to raise awareness of such an important issue. And obviously our co-organizers, the Govt of Gujarat Education Department, the Gujarat Knowledge Society, iHub, and the entire SSIP team. It wouldn't have been possible without you. And thank you to our most wonderful host, Dr. Amrit Pandya, for making sure that everything goes really smoothly. And a very final thank you to you, the viewer watching this, for taking the first step to make a difference. So please remember, it's apno desh chhe and apni jawabdari chhe. So let's go in it together. Thank you very much. And of course, make sure you take a picture. I know a lot of you have dressed up in blue. I've already seen some of them on social media. So make sure you take a picture of everyone together and post it and tag us so that we can also say thank you for your support and reshare it as well. So thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.